Hello everyone. In today's class, we are going to start up with actual editing of photographs in Photoshop. Today, what I'm going to tell you is all the basic concepts of how you're going to select a certain portion. In Photoshop, selection is quite easy. Only thing what you need to understand is the techniques, how to apply it, and all the tabs, what's available, which gives you quite good privilege to do a clear, crispy cutting. Okay. So let's start with the marquee tools. The first type of selection, the basic selection is called marquee tools. And what we have in marquee tool, in the toolbar if you see, there are two types of marquee tool. One is rectangular marquee tool and second is your elliptical marquee tool. Rectangular marquee tool, it's going to have your selection in rectangular format, okay? And elliptical marquee tool will have the selection in elliptical manner, okay? So let's start with the selection process. I have this particular photograph. And as I told you earlier, you have to open your layers and check if it's in background format. Now this is in background form, so double click and convert that into a normal layer by pressing OK. So now this becomes an editable layer, okay? The first thing about rectangular tool is as soon as I click onto the rectangle tool, see, as soon as I click on the rectangular tool, here on the property bar, you are able to see the properties which are associated with rectangle. Okay, so first tab, which is always active. Okay, this is the first tab which is active. How it works, see, click and drag. So you can see a selection has been created in a rectangular format, and there is a white and black line which is moving. So technically this is known as black and white marching ants. Okay, the area which is inside this is your selected portion, and the area which is outside this is your non-selected portion. Okay, so by default this is how it works. So the area which is inside is selected, so whatever action you are going to perform, it will be performed on the selected area. Okay, so this is your selection. What all things you can do with the selection is you can cut and you can paste it somewhere else. You can cut and paste it here itself. Okay, you can fill color in it, you can transform it. Okay, you can make duplicate copies of this. So these are few things what you can do with selection. Okay, any action which is to be performed now will be performed on the selection. Okay, so let's start with the basic copy paste. Control C is for copy and control V is for paste. So control V and pasting. Now it has pasted in the same file on a different layer. You can see here. Okay, control Z. This is how it is. Okay, I want to copy and paste in one go, so control J. Control J automatically copies and pastes the new selection into a different layer. Okay, but if I want to copy this into a different file all itself, so control C, copy it, then press control N, that is new file. So when you're pressing it now, if you're not specifying any measurements, it will take the measurement of the clipboard. That is, whatever you have selected, it will take that and it will paste absolutely in that particular area. Okay, so the size of your selection and the new page size will absolutely equal and it will fit perfectly. Okay, but if I am taking a new file, control N for new file, and what I'll do is I'll increase the size and then I paste it. So it will paste absolutely in the center of a page. Okay, so this is how it works. So first thing what we saw was how to copy and paste. If you want to delete it, simply delete it. Okay, if you want to fill color, we have seen to fill color the foreground color, we have Alt and backspace, and for filling the background color, Control and backspace. Okay, so we can fill color like this. If I want to transform this, Control T for transformation, and then I can scale it. Okay, so this is how I can scale, and then enter or double click. after I have transformed, I want to remove this selection. Okay, so this process is called deselection, and for that you have to go to select and the second option, that is deselect. Okay, the shortcut is Control D, which we usually work. So shortcut is Control D, so remove it. So this is how we can deselect a particular selection. Selecting and deselecting. Selecting we can do with lots of different tools, and removing process is called deselection, and for that we have Control D. Okay, so we have seen this. So this is how we do the selection, and actions can be performed on that particular selection. Now, let's come to the property, how it works. Rectangular tool, the first tab is on. This first tab is called new selection. The function of the new selection is what? The function of the new selection is it allows an individual to select only once, only one area. Okay, see how it works. For example, I have selected this portion. So it has been selected. Because it's in first option, that is new selection, the moment I try to select something new or want to add something, the first selection goes off. Okay, it's removed. The first selection is removed. It allows you to add only once. That is your new selection. But if I want to add to the previous selection, then what happens is I want this also and I want new selection also. Then I'll jump to the second option, that is add to selection. So it is adding to the previous selection. So I will add it from here. I'll add a new portion. Okay. And this is how I'm adding blocks. So I have the previous selection as well as I have the new selection. So multiple selections I can do with add to the selection. I can join and do it. I can keep it separate and do it. Now I have done this. Now see what happens is Control C, Control N, that is new file, enter, and Control V. So I get this particular design what I want. Okay. Now rest beautification can be done. Like you can give the stroke, you can give shadow, you can change the colors and all. So the tiling can be done quite easily. Okay, so revision for this new selection, it allows you to select only once. Okay, whereas add to the selection allows you to add to the previous selection. Okay, and Control D is to remove your selection. Now, say for example, this is my selection which I have selected. Now I want to use the third option, that is subtract from the selection. When I have to subtract from the selection, that means overlapping portion will be removed. See what happens. This portion I want to remove, so I'll select this area. Now the overlapping portion of the old selection and the new selection will be removed. See here. Okay, so this is your subtract. We are minusing the area which we don't want. The fourth option is your intersect with the selection. Intersect means wherever there is that connection. So in subtract, what it was doing, it was removing the overlapping portion. Intersect is opposite to your subtract, where overlapping portion will be kept and rest of the things will be removed. So that is intersect with the selection. Okay, so these are the four options. We'll just go with that quickly again. New selection allows you to select only once. Add to the selection allows you to add with the previous selection. Subtract will help you to remove the area which you don't want, and here overlapping portion will be removed. Intersect with the selection will allow you to keep only overlapping portion and rest of the things will be removed. Okay. So with this Marquee tool, we have seen the four options. Now, next we are going to see feather and elliptical tool also. These topics will be in the same line of what we have understood for the Marquee tool and the options. So we'll continue the rest of the topic in our second video. Thank you.